Okay, we got one Frankie moment right here. She's not been feeling good lately. She's had a little cold for a while and she's been in her kennel today. She doesn't ever lay in her kennel. She's been laying in it today. I don't know why. It's probably because I told her that because I love her so much and due to the fact that she's not a good guard dog or used for shepherding, every single day, an amount of negative karma that is equal to Mount Ahud is applied to my soul. That I have to do so many good deeds now because of Frankie. According to Allah, this is an amount of bad deeds the size of Mount Ahud. Y'all know the Liver King?
The carnage. The beautiful carnage that is it doesn't look bad, does it? How did we do? What did we miss?
The Liver King is on his crazy arc right now.
Got caught being vegan.
He's had 3 arcs. He's had the Liver King arc.
The Barbarian is a time that we test ourselves and we remind ourselves that we're built for strength and we're built for capacity.
The Liar arc.
If you don't believe this is possible, then I suggest that you take that self-limiting belief, you put that shit in a box and you bury that next to all your embarrassing shit.
And then now the crazy, insane, I don't know what's going on, I'm a kind of concerned arc.
The entry point is the vehicle, is the entertainment, is the through line. How you do things, how you do everything. And every touch point is the brand, is the impact of value. And if I don't full send and give you something, paired with that kind of entertainment like value, that was a purge of my past.
Just kidding, it's internet. It's not real. I don't actually care that much, but this is crazy.
First ever training session of the Trinity Barbarian.
I know you. You're the If you thought that eating testicles and raw meat was sort of manic, wait till you see what the Liver King is up to now.
Sentient being or friends.
I have never seen anything like this on the internet. I watched a video yesterday and it made my toes curl.
Brother, if you're gonna record me, you at least say, hey bro, do you mind if I record you? And I don't mind at all. If you even write down your shit, I will tag you on a story or YouTube or whatever it is. You give me that. I brought my own plate. We're sitting down here. We are about to get down and enjoy and destroy. It's a new life.
And then after that, I watched another video about the Liver King that sort of upset me a little bit.
The Liver King, I believe, has schizoaffective disorder.
That was a purge.
This is a mental disorder that oftentimes starts when you're late teens or early 20s, but progressively gets worse as you get older.
The Liver King has fallen. That's completely clear.
It's just getting good.
Was it the amount of drugs that he did, that he shot into his arm, $11,000 a month worth, maybe $15,000? I can't remember the exact numbers, but did that drive holes in his brain? Or maybe worms have entered his cerebellum through all the raw meat that he's been eating for years?
The chefs made a mistake. They walked away.
Was it the substances? Was it the admittance of lying?
I think at the end of the day, if you say he's got an ass full of steroids, I think what you're, invariably some people want to look like Liver King. They want to look like me. And what you're saying is you got to do that if you want to look like him. And number one, I don't do it.
Was it just bad juju?
Oh. Oh. Oh.
That's for me to know, and you to find out if you press, only if you press the like button now.
And if you tell Frankie that I won't go to hell because of how many bad deeds energy she gives me.
The size of Mount Ahud. Frankie, you counteract my good deeds with the size of Mount Ahud every day. Mount Ahud of Hasanat. Don't you know that, Frankie? You're so dumb. You're so stupid. You have no idea how much pain you're gonna put me in eternally. If you've forgotten who our meat-eating beast is, let me give you a quick recap. Liver King, aka Brian Johnson, not to be confused with the other Brian Johnson, the multimillionaire bigwig tech genius who steals blood from his son.
And I thought it would be pretty epic if my son, my father, and I completed the world's first multi-generational plasma exchange.
He's got the youngest in all of Silicon Valley. Frankie, stop eating stuff on the ground. Liver King is that red guy that you've seen on your For You page eating raw meat, bull testicles, liver, raw steak, raw everything. He started a primal trend like 2 years ago, and now it's kind of dead, fortunately, but his persona came into existence and is still around. The persona, you could say, involved being a man. That was it. It was like the primal lifestyle. Stink maxing.
Right, this is where the heat and sweat and detox comes out. And then if you shave it and you start putting on this called deodorant, you block that thermoregulatory mechanism. This must be from, is that from the semen retention?
He never showered. He slept on wood, all to ensure that he would become primal. He would be more like a cave dweller, a knuckle dragger, a troglodyte, a homeo, what are they called? Homo erectus? No. Cro-Magnon, that's me. Look at my face from the side. How could a woman like that love this? How to Become Primal is the North Star of his entire program. You had to follow the 9 ancestral tenets that would ensure you could become a true beast. You had to sleep, eat, move, shield, cold, sun, fight, and bond.
The 9 ancestral tenets are these forces that have nourished us and shaped us to epigenetically express our highest and most dominant form. It's enabled us to become the baddest mammalian predators that ever lived.
All things that make a lot of sense, and without following the protocols, you could never reach true primal ape man status. He would continue to dominate everyone's attention because of his extravagant and bizarre extreme lifestyle.
So when there's a simple marketing, supply chain, or accounting problem that somebody has, you have to remind yourself that this person is completed barbarian. They are a barbarian, and this person is capable of anything.
Videos like this.
This really simple way of living. It's ancestral living. It's the way that we've lived for millions of years. It's accessible. It's something you can literally do right now, today, and you can have it impact and change your life tomorrow.
This is Barbarian, and this is how we honor Memorial Day. Because when we do Barbarian, we're honoring our early ancestors, our recent ancestors, so that we can be here today, so that we can enjoy the spoils of the modern world, like the freedoms we enjoy today.
This man was so... His content was so profligated? Is that a word? His content was so profligated, I'm just gonna go with it, that even some of my friends in my real life started to believe it and followed the diet. I have a friend who ate nothing but meat and raw shit for like 90 days, and then I believe had parasites at the end of it. I'm almost positive. I can't remember though. Pretty based, pretty red pilled. Pretty based, pretty stink pilled. So yeah, it's extravagant, it's extreme. He's got a dinner table. He sits at the dinner table in a throne. There's a head of an animal that's being picked apart and eaten. Like there's a bunch of beasts gnawing at it. It's all right, Frankie, don't worry. What are you doing? Just lay down, okay? Lay down, all right, Frankie? Tons of people wanted to go to the Liver King's compound to see what the Liver King was actually all about. People saw him eating nasty shit, working out in an insane routine, and of course, stink maxing.
I don't take a shower. The only place I use soap would be my groin.
You don't take a shower?
Here's the thing. I don't take a traditional shower. I don't use soap, I don't use soap. Like this hair has never been washed. The beard has never been washed. There's never been soap on my chest. We have well water, we have a lake, we jump in the lake, we get into a cold plunge. I don't pick out an outfit. My closet is just full of shorts.
The workout that he calls the Barbarian.
Barbarian consists of holding 70-pound kettlebells, wearing a 70-pound backpack, 20-pound ankle weights, and pulling 120 pounds on a sled. And it's for a full mile.
Genuinely very impressive. The guy is definitely an athlete. He's definitely a badass, for sure. But the most important thing about all of this is how he retains the lifestyle, how he continues this big, extravagant thing that's getting so many views. Is it real? Because it's sold as if it's real.
It's just not how you eat or how you move. It really has to do with all 9 ancestral tenets. All 9 ancestral tenets is gonna get you the right nourishment, it's gonna get you the right mechanical loading, it's gonna get you all the raw inputs to optimize your hormones so that you can express your highest version.
He started this crazy extravagant thing, and now he has to be able to retain that and continue that and keep that going for a very long time. How does he do that? Not off TikTok views, they don't pay for shit. Not off YouTube views, they don't pay for shit either. Products, all right? He has a product line of supplements, a line called The Fittest. It's protein powder, ancestral supplements, and shit and stuff, and there's so much and there's so many products, and he's selling products, but it's a lifestyle though. It's not about the products, it's the ancestral supplements.
Of course, we're gonna start with our ancestral supplements, liver, beef organs, and bone marrow with breakfast, lunch, and dinner because liver is king. We got the whole camel head right here. We're gonna have all of the head meat, including some of the brains. We got a pile of organs back here. Look at how beautiful this kidney is right here. We're gonna eat the entire camel hump. And then we have all of the femur bones, tons of meat in here. We got the hormone optimizing, alpha organizing, liver king bar. And of course, always gonna have the whole feast protein shake, which Savage Liver Boy Rad wants it right now.
You know, supplements like our ancestors took. You know, mercury and aspirin. Those were supplements from ye yonder olden times. Yeah, he's got quite the line of products, things to sell. Here are all of them. It's pretty impressive. Now, we have talked about the Liver King on the channel before. This man has been a strange marvel for a couple of years. He's not my natty idol anymore, guys. I thought before this that I could eat a lot of liver and just get really jacked. But instead, I got some passengers. Liver flukes, I like to call them. Everything would change when multiple gym and health content creators began to accuse the Liver King of having an unnatural physique and being a liar, living and profiting off a web of lies from Greg Doucette.
He's training with high-tech equipment, training properly, progressive overload. I'm gonna spoil it right now. I don't think he's natural. Don't believe that.
To the Death Star Delt himself, Derek. More plates, more dates.
I guess it's not consistent with ancestral living to be on synthetic exogenous pharmacology.
Like, if you don't think that Greg Doucette is an accurate source of information, you're right. But Derek is, absolutely. I'm just kidding, I'm teasing Greg Doucette. Greg Doucette! He's the reincarnation of Gilbert Gottfried.
It's my opinion alone. You can think what you want, so everyone living in this country doesn't have to shit on me because I don't think he's natural.
And yeah, you don't say the guy's juicing up. If he wasn't, people would look like this more often. When someone looks like nobody else, it's because they're doing something nobody else is doing. And that's not eating healthy. Doesn't make you look like that. It's steroids and drugs. That's what it is.
I've never cheated, nor taken a shortcut in any capacity of life. You earn the life and wife that you behold. Most people think it's impossible because they look like shit, despite doing movements they call work, which isn't, and despite eating clean, which isn't. My thesis is that if you commit to these 9 ancestral tenets, you will unlock the greatest version of yourself, your inner beast. You will optimize your testosterone, your growth hormone, your IGF-1, your DHT, your metabolic markers, and you will achieve a higher version of yourself that is to behold too. I believe in the ways of our ancestors. We are descendants of the sole surviving species of genus Homo, the baddest alien predators that ever lived. They honor these ways by blah, blah, blah.
Tons and tons of people were accusing him that he was juicing up. There's no possible way that his physique could ever be attained naturally. And these clips aged like Milkenheimer.
It started with the accusation, natty or not. For the record, 2%? For the record, okay. It's natty, right?
On Impulsive, and a ton more, there's just a gigantic compilation of him saying, I'm not on steroids.
Do you think if I was on steroids, I would have these appendages down here, these legs?
Have legs?
Do you see how little my legs are?
I'm actually just sleeping 10 hours a day, sleeping on a wood bed, sucking, eating dirt, eating poop, eating shit, eating fecal matter, eating all the humors that are required for a healthy, balanced diet, etc., etc. Liver King.
The question has always been, do you take steroids? Do you take PEDs? The answer to that is no. I've always told the truth. I still tell the truth.
Or whatever. I think that's what he said. It's along the lines of that.
I didn't touch the stuff. Don't touch the stuff, right?
I don't touch this stuff. I've never done this stuff. I'm not going to do this stuff.
What stuff?
the ass full of steroids.
The point is, he really likes to say that he's natural when there's a bunch of people saying that he's not. And this is a massive thing. If you guys are unfamiliar with fitness, I call it the industry. It's really common. People say everybody's on steroids, and everybody who is on steroids lies and says that they're not because they're pieces of shit, I guess. I don't really know why you would lie about something like that. Liver King, no exception. He said that he was natural and he was selling all these products and literally a lifestyle, the 9 primal tenets based on the idea that this is what you have to do in order to look like this, look like a bloated, soon to be dead, swollen organoid freak of nature.
These are our ancestral ways. Do these things to express your highest and most dominant form.
It wasn't until November 28th, 2022 when Derek, More Plates, More Dates, uploaded a video called The Liver King Lie. And in the video, he shows emails of the Liver King talking about what type of shit he was on. Not only that, the emails were sent to Derek to get advice about what type of shit to get on.
He seemingly filled out this contact form identifying himself as Brian Johnson Liver King in brackets with an official email, liverking@ancestralsupplements.com. Like, this is very much his brand domain that he is emailing through.
It's very ironic and funny, and I was gonna say sad, but it's actually not. It's like really invigorating to see that. It made me hard.
As it relates to my goals, I'm the face of several brands, including Ancestral Supplements, which is the handle he used here from his official company email. And I've just hired a team to build the Liver King brand with the goal of 1 million followers by March 2022.
It was revealed that he was taking a bunch of different peptides. Specifically, one was Omnitrope, which is a pharmacy-grade human growth hormone, stuff that's difficult to get and is very expensive and high quality. That's what the man was doing. I mean, he's worth a lot of money. He was only getting the best.
To support these exhaustive efforts, I've recently started taking Omnitrope. So if you guys don't know Omnitrope, this is pharmacy-grade human growth hormone. The brand, it is created by the pharmaceutical company Sandoz, I believe it is. The 5.8 milligram vials from Empower Pharmacy, $11,000 per month for my new dose, which is 4 vials per week, 16 vials per month.
For some people, this was a revelation, all right? For fans of his, people who somehow believed you could achieve this physique completely naturally, and specifically in the case of Brian Johnson, achieve that physique late in your 40s.
5.8 milligram vial of Omnitrope, that has the equivalent of approximately 17.4 IU somatropin. So he mentioned 4 vials per week, 16 vials a month. I believe he mentioned in his email here, 16 vials a month. So that is going to be roughly 69.6 international units of recombinant human growth hormone per week, which is roughly 10 international units per day, which is like a really, really high, super expensive dosage that, to be honest, I know bodybuilders who compete at the Open Mr. Olympia who use less pharma-grade GH than that. Like that's how high of a dose that actually is.
But that's the lie, is that you can only achieve it if you're drinking hot jizz and eating over a cracked skull every night and pretending to be a troglodyte. I don't like cave dweller. He's a cave dweller, legitimately. Oh! Frankie, are you on steroids? You're not, are you? Does your belly hurt or something? Are you okay? You all right, baby? He's got supplements. I've got candy, which is the opposite because it's not good for you and it's sugar, sweet candy. Well, I have a candy company. I make candy. I love candy. I think candy's really good and an important part of a balanced diet. I mean, maybe it's a lie. That's not true, but it kind of is, I guess. It's not important by any means, but it could be a part of it. You could eat a little bit of candy, right? You just got to be reasonable and eat it in modesty. I have a candy company. It's called Sour Boys. Go to sour.gg, use code PRIMAL for 20% off. There'll only be 200 of these orders. I'll make the code right now. The candy's delicious. We got little guys. They're plant-based gummies. We've got strips. We do a new flavor every single week. We'll be doing 52 weeks and 52 flavors. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Use code PRIMAL today. We get code PRIMAL, sour.gg/primal. A lot of people saw this revelation coming, but you know, the way that Derek delivered it was really interesting and it became a domino effect. Tons and tons of people started throwing hate towards the Liver King for lying and claiming he was natural this entire time while knowingly hiding the fact that he was taking a bunch of shit to make himself look like the peak of human possibility and selling supplements doing it. Like, really, it's up, dude. It's not very ancestral of you, Liver King.
up.
You lack artificial intelligence. Instead, you have natural stupidity.
Danger, no stranger am I. Everything I do now requires crossbones, because that's the bounty and that's the truth.
Yeah, the domino effect continued and it fell into the Liver King's lap. The facade completely gone. It was time to come clean, and he did on December 1st, 2022. Only a few days after More Plates, More Dates posted his expose. In this video, he serenades your left ear for some reason. I think his editor just up and didn't fix the audio.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize.
He starts off by bragging that he was rich and anonymous, but now on social media, he is still rich, but not anonymous.
This is a complicated as topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous, and I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye.
He states that he did in fact do steroids, and yes, that he is currently on carefully prescribed steroids, peptides, etc. by trained professionals.
Yes, I've done steroids, and yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician.
He states that the Liver King figure was an experiment to spread a message to the 4,000 people who kill themselves every single day.
Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message, to bring awareness to the 4,000 people a day who kill themselves. The 80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. Our people are hurting at record rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life. Our young men are hurting the most, feeling lost, weak, and submissive. So I made it my job to model, teach, and preach a simple, elegant solution called ancestral living.
That's a bizarre corner to back yourself into, you know? Okay, very virtuous. Love, yes, okay, you're not just lying, but what about people who are just, you're lying to? Why are you lying to them, though? You know, I don't, it's weird. It's odd. He says that he lied, and it all boils down to the fact that he was part of the statistic and not confident in himself. So he developed this persona and took these drugs to reach his peak, and with it, spread, hopefully, his confidence with others.
When I talk about the 85% of the population that suffers from self-esteem issues, that's me. I'm part of that statistic. This is why I work myself to death in the gym. This is why I do 12 to 15 blood-burning workouts a week, just to feel like I'm okay. Still, I have to absolutely crush myself to do so, and I'm wrecked physically and cognitively, and hormone replacement has helped in a profound and significant way.
So it's interesting. That is a bit more noble and honest than saying that you lied because people are killing themselves. That's a really weird take. That's a strange thing to say. After this, his views fell off the earth. It all truly came crashing down. People knew that this man was a liar. The character was a lie. Every single thing in regard to the Liver King is totally a lie, other than the fact that he had profited massively off of all of this. However, he did not stop posting and continued his character in spite of the drop in views and the drop in attention and the uptick of hate. He just wasn't ready to give up yet, guys. The price of primal living.
The name is Liver King. The name is Brian, the little Brian that I was, the metaphor for the paltry thing of flesh that I continue and exist to be. My social media manager, Sonny, he told me that primals still want to know what I'm eating. The 10th ancestral tenet, it's called evolve.
Our baby boy wasn't ready to give up just quite yet. Okay, so now, seems like there's a massive price to primal living, aka lying and being heavily in karmic debt like I am, the size of Mount Uhud every day that I own Frankie. I'm 2 Uhuds in debt because I have Frankie and Petey, and they're both worthless. They're not shepherds. They're not protecting me in any way. Anyways, the Liver King, he watched his empire crumble at the end of 2022, but not entirely. The guy's still making a bunch of money. He's got his supplements that people are still gonna buy, and the supplements are clean, they're good. You know, they're pretty good stuff. It's like the whole idea of it's nonsense. Liver, definitely healthy. A lot of the stuff, definitely healthy, but it's all based on lies. One bad apple, you know, as they say. I don't know who's saying that. And I really don't know what it means, but I've heard people say it before, and it's funny whenever people say it. So for most of 2023, Liver King crawled deep back into his jungle. And honestly, most of 2024, he called himself Liver King 2.0.
What is up, my primals? This Liver King 2.0 Natty, this weekly confessional. It's been 59 days, Natty. One more day to celebrate 60. I'm finishing my 8th week, and I'm doing amazing. Liver King 2.0 will crush Liver King 1.0.
He said that he would never go on steroids ever again and that they're totally overrated and blah, 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 etc., etc., sick, hyphen, or whatever the
I didn't lie to anybody when I went on the podcast and I started talking about my earnest commitment to go natural. So this year, starting on January 2nd, I went 220 days without any steroid, without any growth hormone, without any peptide, without anything synthetic. If you call eating a pound of fresh, raw bull testicles every single day natural, then I've been natty as for 220 days.
You know, more lies. And then he stayed on steroids. His physique hasn't changed much. Maybe he lost a little bit of weight. He his eye up at one point and his eyes looked really weird, and that was something that was freaking a lot of people out. But overall, the man has completely fallen off, and he's been in his hollow, and there's been like a very small insular audience watching his content and kind of trolling him, but also some people still find a lot of value in the things that he's saying. And I've got to say that there is value in the things that he says. The primal lifestyle, it's definitely healthier than the modern lifestyle of Krabby Patty meals day after day, microplastics, I don't know, showering daily. It's purely performative. I smell like shit, and it's because I shower like once a week. You can ask Christina. And actually, I don't smell like shit. I smell like ass. So Liver King 2.0 is a Liver King of humility and honesty and transparency, or at least that's what, you know, we're kind of getting the vibe of.
The mind is such a deadly weapon because once I got myself into this, you know, I convinced myself that this had nothing to do with my message. I convinced myself that, who the f am I cheating? Like, I'm not in a competitive sport. Who am I cheating?
It's interesting. He's like almost died a couple times as well in 2024.
What is up, my primals? I'm following all the doctor's orders. I have not left bed. This is my day bed. I'm following all the orders. I'm definitely not working out.
With this past Friday, things took a drastic turn for the weird. October 11th, 2024, a video blew up on Twitter, formerly known as X.
We're gonna go get down on Pound Town.
Showed what appeared to be the Liver King in a manic episode. I don't know exactly, but Brian was posted up outside a Whataburger with his 2 sons, and his sentences don't quite connect right out of the gate. It seems like he's on meth. It does to me. I mean, watch this.
The chicken strips here are actually love strips imbibed with gravy.
This does not seem like a man who is mentally well in his brain and is all there. It seems like something is going on. It doesn't seem like he's in a manic episode necessarily. It seems like he's bordering on psychosis or something. Like his reality, the thing that, I don't know. I'm not an expert. That's why I shouldn't have used the word manic probably, but something's going on. It seems like he's on meth, in all honesty. That's what I feel like. Meth! Part of the primal lifestyle. He says that it's Father Sunday, which I presume is a father-son bonding day. And then following that, he says, we're gonna go down on Pound Town, whatever the that means. What's this, scallop?
Going on a date on Father Sunday. We're gonna go get down on Pound Town.
Typically in a Liver King video, the man, Liver King, is very well-spoken. He can explain things well. He enunciates well. He pronounces things properly. He's very articulate. He's an excellent orator.
Liver King here. This is what I'm having for Thursday dinner. We're gonna start with some concoction. We got some grass-fed, grass-finished homemade yogurt, some concoction, some maple syrup, a little bit of salt. We got a nice protein shake, 30 to 40 grams of protein. Of course, we got the liver. We got the liver with some maple syrup, some salt.
He speaks well about what he's doing or eating, but this time he seems all over the place.
First they gave us one of these cups that was like, have you seen the cups? They're like 47,000 million ounces. They're not that size. That's what they say the size is, but they're actually this much more beautiful size, a much more size. It didn't feel right in the hand, so I asked for the smallest cup that they had. They said a child's cup, you could have a child's cup at 16 ounces.
Furthermore, he opens the video directly by stating that he has ill-prepared his boys for the real world.
I'm showing my boys how to live in the real world. It's called the real world. I ill-prepared them. They're barbarians. They can hunt an animal, they can take an animal, they can process an animal. But they don't really know how to live so well in the real world.
Yeah, you go first.
I f***ed all that up, and open the door for me. I f***ed it up. I'm fixing it now.
The whole video is so strange. All I'm doing is thinking of like, man, if my dad walked into a Whataburger vlogging and he was saying shit like this, I'd be like, all right, let's go from primal to like modern. Let's go see a mental health professional or something like this. Father, saying that your boys are ill-prepared for the world seems like a contradictory statement from what Liver King normally preaches. He preaches a lifestyle in full. I mean, the primal lifestyle is the way to do it.
Primals need to know how hard Liver King Chef Lionel works on Thanksgiving.
I'm Liver King Chef Lionel, and for Thanksgiving, Liver King requested a turducken, which is gonna be a chicken stuffed inside a duck, which is stuffed inside a turkey. But of course, for Liver King, we took it up a notch. We're gonna have a turkey stuffed inside a goat, stuffed inside a pig. We smoked that for 10 hours, so you know it's gonna be very flavorful and very soft.
His customs, his ideology are what made him famous in the first place, and that's his whole thing that all this is hinging on.
What up, Primals? I just finished 24 hours of fasting. How did I break that fast? Not on my neighbor's cat, not on the orphanage, but I broke that fast on the legacy of our early ancestors so that we can be here today, so that we can enjoy the spoils of the modern world, so that we can enjoy Christmas with friends, families, and loved ones, so that we can enjoy a time of peace and plenty. You're telling me you don't have 3.5, 4 minutes to do Tabata push-ups, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, so that you can honor the struggle of our early ancestors?
To reject modernity and embrace primal living, to not eat processed food, and to go outside.
Finish everything off with our cream pie. And to wash it down, we have our nice juicy cola. As you know, it's gonna be filled with sugars and preservatives. That's what we're having for dinner tonight. Liver King Chef Lionel, out!
But in this video, he's eating Whataburger and saying that he did a terrible job raising his sons and has not prepared them for the real world.
There's a whole nother life for the soul to live in. There's something about how a sweet tea tastes when you're in the center of your soul with your boys.
Something about this seems very, very, very off. Although I shall say, his grasp of the English language at this point is more primal than ever. You know, it's prehistoric, I guess.
I actually will take his first answer, because that's pure and primal, and the cosmic expression of like only a word would be the pathetic metaphor to try and explain the experience of the lightning bolts that went off in the head. Call it schizophrenia, call it ketamine words.
Before he steps into the fine establishment of Whataburger, the man says, "I all head up." I don't know what that means, but this sentence serves as a bad omen for what's to come. Sort of a Mount Ahud. What's the word? I forget what it is. Mount Ahud. Chasmant. I forget. Comment down below.
I f***ed all that up, and open the door for me. I f***ed it up. I'm fixing it now. Father's Sunday.
Right after this negative omen, we learn that the reason that they are spending their Father's Sunday at Whataburger is that Brian believes that taking his sons to get fast food will fix his mistakes of not preparing them for the real world. And when he reaches the counter, he's immediately consumed by the contents of the menu and rambles about how the chicken is imbued with love and how he wants to order the whole menu. He wants a number 1 through 6.
The chicken strips are good. Normally I would say chicken is a poultry thing of flesh. We're at Whataburger. The chicken strips here are actually love strips imbibed with gravy. We're gonna take everything, the way you guys make it. And then I'll also take a 10. Actually, that sucks. Yeah, give me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, please. And then, bro, we're hooking that shit up on the 13. Let's get the how do you say that? What a chicken strips. Oh, and the sauces. We're gonna get every sauce with it. And let's make sure we get the honey barbecue sandwich and the sweet and spicy burger and the patty melt, please.
Which is a lot of food. Show the Whataburger menu, please, for me, editor. I usually eat this one. This is the one that I normally eat, that I snack and nibble on. Thank you, editor, for making me want the biggest, most burliest one. There's a bug right there. I'm gonna kill it. He then asks about the cashier's favorite desserts. And in Liver King fashion, he is ordering a primal feast for his boys and him to enjoy, you know, in a bit of an episode, a bit of a bit of a journey, having a bit of an experience out at Whataburger with my boys, having a primal feast, a 1 through 6 Whataburger. Delicious.
And then what's your best dessert?
You can tell that this is something very out of the ordinary for Liver King because he brought his own plate and silverware to use at Whataburger.
Brother, if you're gonna record me, you at least say, hey bro, do you mind if I record you? And I don't mind at all. If you even write down your shit, I will tag you on a story or YouTube or whatever it is. You give me that. I brought my own plate. We're sitting down here. We are about to get down and enjoy and destroy. It's a new life. Father, son.
It's like watching someone who hasn't been in modern society in years and heard that this is what people do when they go to a restaurant. He's like an alien trying to fit in. It's honestly a little funny. While waiting for his monster order to be prepared, he is aimlessly walking around talking about cup sizes, walking behind the counter and how sweet is so much sweeter when you spend time with your boys enjoying a different side of life.
First they gave us one of these cups that was like, have you seen the cups? They're like 47,000 million ounces. They're not that size. That's what they say the size is, but they're actually, there's much more beautiful size, a much more size. It didn't feel right in the hand, so I asked for the smallest cup that they had. They said a child's cup, you could have a child's cup at 16 ounces. It feels much better actually than the bigger one or that one. And I'm actually enjoying a sweet tea, y'all. Never had a sweet tea so sweet before because I'm having it with my boys here. And there's a whole nother life for the soul to live in.
Odd. At the end of the video, Brian shows the carnage that lies before them on the table. Just looking at a still frame, you can see 6 cups probably filled with tea. There's sandwiches everywhere with one bite taken out. Piles of fries lay under burger wrappers and used napkins. Even Sheogorath, the mad god, has cleaner table than these primals. And he is of his own creation.
But more to the point, do you, tiny, puny, expendable little mortal, actually think you can convince me to leave? Because that's crazy! You do realize who you're dealing with. Spit it out, mortal! I haven't got an eternity. Actually, a 2. I'm a mad god. The mad god, actually.
The Shivering Isles! I want your bow. After showing off the table, the man begins to once again babble about how when he ordered all that food, he asked the workers in the kitchen to paint them a Picasso lunch.
We just asked to basically paint the picture of a Picasso for us.
And he asks his boys to describe their eating experience at Whataburger. One says, it was delicious. And the other one is left speechless.
In one word each, guys. How was the experience at Whataburger?
Delicious.
Poor guy. Dude, this is so funny. It's sad, it's up, but it's like, if this is a troll, it's a good troll. I'm trolled, for sure. I'm aware that it could be a troll. The man is pretty smart, but it doesn't seem like a troll. And actually, let's see if he's been posting more. He keeps doing this like strange poetic cadence thing on his TikToks that's really creeping me out, and it leaves me speechless like his boy at Whataburger.
The bullseye is the warm spot, is the queen, is your family, is your fortune, is the gift, is the lift, is the resistance. And when you get a blood so true, the barbarian family, the bounty renews, the universe reciprocates. That's just how it works. It's the yin and the yang. That's the duality. That's the nature. It's our ancestral mother, the almighty father, the sun.
Anyways, back to the Whataburger video. One boy says delicious, one boy left speechless. Liver King runs wild with this response, going off on a tangent about the lack of expression, the lack of words. It's a prime example of the primal and cosmic expression and how one could never describe the lightning bolts that went off in their head during this experience.
And I actually will take his first answer, because that's pure and primal, and the cosmic expression of like only a word would be the pathetic metaphor to try and explain the experience of the lightning bolts that went off in the head.
The rant then divulges even more when Liver King starts to introduce some religious vocabulary, talking about the primal trinity of the truth and the Liver King 3.0.
Call it schizophrenia, call it ketamine words, or call it just the primal expression of the truth. It's the trinity of the truth. It's the Liver King 3.0. Father, Son, Son.
The video ends with the Liver King seeming proud, talking about how they came, conquered, bonded, and enjoyed a delicious primal meal of shit.
That's what we did. We came, we conquered, we loved, we bonded, we might go have to play, what's the name of the game? Yeah. We may have to go play Knockout because this is what we had today.
This is not a normal Liver King video. It is far from the average video posted on the Liver King account. Seems like the guy maybe has been tripping a little bit, little psychedelic journeys or something like that. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it seems like this is an episode of some kind that's freaky, but it also could be a troll. I don't know. This man needs help, but it doesn't seem like he feels that way. Something is clearly off, though. I think you could probably agree. It's his choice of words, his body language, the odd location, the Whataburger. It's difficult to specifically pinpoint what the reason is for the strange out-of-character video. And there are more, by the way. This isn't the only one. This is just the one that went viral. I don't think I'm the only person to think this. If you look at the comments, people are concerned for this man's well-being, genuinely. We do get a glimpse as to what may possibly be the cause of the strange behavior. One comment points out that Liver King is an avid user of psychedelics and is begging him to stop. So that's sort of where I'm at. I think that this is potentially watching a man unfold in reality due to many factors. A, fame, it's not good. B, money, not good either. But those two things plus $10,000 plus of peptides and supplements a month to rot your brain. There are studies showing that any anabolic adjustment or peptide or growth hormone is going to your brain up over time. Plus his anabolic use with the potential brain injury he has of getting hit in the head. There was that whole thing that happened a few months ago. I mean, this is bad, dude. This is bad. I don't know what's going on here. And you take that and you combine it with psychedelics. We know that Liver King uses psychedelics because he went on a podcast in March of 2023 and spoke about his whole journey to where he is now. During his explanation, he says that psychedelics played an integral role in his journey.
Have psychedelics played a big role in your whole journey?
In my whole journey, I would say yes. In my whole journey, I would say yes. Still dealing like with my 10 to 15-year-old self. I'd never dealt with that prior to the emails coming out. I was driving in my car to go make the apology video, and my truck, by the way, is a truck. And I started like asking myself, why do I need to crush myself in the gym 2 or 3 times a day? Okay, why do I have to feel like I earned it? Why do I have to feel like I'm worth it? Why do I have to do that? And then it brought me back to like my 10 to 15-year-old days, and I'm like, oh. And I actually started crying. I was in the truck by myself and I started crying.
But since his apology, he hasn't done any, or at least that is what he has publicly claimed.
And I haven't actually done psychedelics since talking about this. So there might be an opportunity there. But what I do know is like whenever we do mushrooms, wherever we point our intention, we go so many layers deeper. And when it's with one another, and we always do it in nature together, it's like you feel the souls of the trees. You feel how absolutely interconnected you are with everything in the universe. And we've talked a lot about this. It's not even like that we have souls, but we are souls.
We know that he's a massive liar when it comes to saying what and what not he's been putting into his body. So
just how many drugs was he on? Like, what are the sort of dosages for those of us that aren't a part of the...
Off the top of my head, there is IGF-1, CJC, ipamorelin, MK677, GH, Winstrol, Deca, Test. So 8. And that's, just going into the questionnaire of trying to just say this is what I'm doing right now, but I need next level and I need to, figure this stuff out.
Yeah. He's kind of a liar. Not a valid source of info. Even some use of psychedelics could explain his strange mannerisms. Multiple studies in regard to the long-term effects of psychedelics have been conducted, and they're not good. They're not good, to be honest. It's not good. It's really not good to your body and brain. One big study that contains 34 smaller studies that go into the long-term effects of psychedelic drugs, particularly psilocybin in the case of what we're showing here, in human subjects. It shows and reports sustained changes in personality, attitudes, depression, anxiety, well-being, it causes substance misuse, etc. And all this stuff is linked to mystical experiences, emotional breakthroughs, and increased neural entropy. A lot of people I know use psychedelics reasonably and psilocybin. You know, I'm not against any drug really, but I feel like this is potentially a thing that we're witnessing here. This ultra aggro lying man on steroids with psychedelics he's talking about. It's not like he's hiding any of this stuff. It's not like it's private and it's being exposed. It's totally reasonable to speculate the man is recording insane videos and posting them online.
FR 3.0, he's the trinity of frog friends. We're not really sure what's going on, so we're just gonna move him along because we like to jump and leap light years. And when we leap like that, it's called change, evolve, the 10th ancestral tenet.
What do you expect us to just be like, oh, he's right? Based on what we're seeing here, it seems like some of these symptoms are fairly obvious, but I don't know. Also in the psychedelic interview, he never specifically stated how long he used psychedelics, so he could have been using them for decades, whatever. The point is he's done them. He's done them. Bless you, Frankie. Other people in the comments point out that his eyes look insane, with one being more dilated than the other, but this is related to the incident we've shown where Liver King was using resistance bands and one went directly into his eye and f***ed him up. Yeah, man. It appears as though the man has really stuck the primal tenets and rejected modern medicine, because shit's f***ed. I mean, his eye looks completely f***ed. I don't know if he's been to a doctor and been like, hey, can you fix this? He's just like asked the holy liver trinity or whatever the f*** he's talking about.
He's the trinity of frog friends.
Or maybe we're watching this man's mind and body start to break down due to the lifestyle of the liver. And he's not a great spokesperson. So far, he's been proven to be a liar, and now he's dying and losing his mind in front of all of us. So he's really making the primal lifestyle look bad. He's getting old too. Things get harder and harder to maintain. Eventually, he's gonna have to give up this lifestyle and either that or die. I'm surprised he hasn't died of a heart attack yet. I mean, he does not look healthy. He's red. That's like he looks like a pickle. What? A hot dog. This dude grinds. His heart cannot be healthy. I just refuse to believe that this dude is the picture of health in any way. I've always refused to believe that. He seems like a sick-looking guy, and now his mind is following suit.
Sword is the dwarf, is the little man Napoleon complex, is the beast of the blood of the... I get it. I wouldn't have liked me either. I probably would. Actually, I would like me now. I like me now. If I saw me now, my true me now, I would like me now. I know that for certain. And that's why I want to show so desperately, just like, please guys, stop editing. Just show the real truth every day.
I'm excited to see what he looks like though when he stops. It's a well-known fact that when roid heads, bodybuilders, whatever, when they stop doing steroids and stop working out, they rebound really, really poorly. Their endocrine system's totally fried. All their body's natural systems totally fried. Doing steroids is the least primal thing you can do, actually. There's something in my nose. It feels like a booger. You see anything in there? What's in there? Tell me. His balls are gonna shrivel up and disappear, hypogonadism, no sex hormones. He's gonna be depressed, he's gonna be fatigued, and he's gonna depend on testosterone, exogenous hormones, for the rest of his life. I don't know, dude. I feel like we're watching a man who went way too hard, went way too close to the sun, lied way too much, and is just so wrong that it was inevitable that he films himself completely breaking down.
To blend one soul in that moment, for that reason, for that season, hopefully more than a lifetime, that is. And when we can nurture that and foster that with our boys, well, guess what? First we have to be able to nurture that and foster that with ourselves, our highest swords. And then the sword of the marriage of the queen is the union, is still the soul. She is my soulmate. Make no mistake about it. She is me.
And it's not like he's a victim or anything. Bro has made tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars off of a lie. And this is like ironic, some kind of ironic karma of the universe or something. So things are crashing down and getting really bad. And we see some true evidence of this, some self-admitted evidence of this. Near the end of the video, he's talking about Liver King 3.0, which is the best version of Liver King. He talks about how people might call him schizophrenic, or that what he is saying are ketamine thoughts. So he is aware of what people will say in the comments when he talks. It makes no sense and just spews gibberish.
Call it schizophrenia. call it ketamine words, or call it just the primal expression of the truth. It's the trinity of the truth. It's the Liver King 3.0. Father, Son.
And that is adding to the mental pressure that is growing potentially in his mind. I'm not exactly sure, but his balance between his online persona and real life is starting to break, and the man is becoming psychotic. He's like the Tumad of fitness, almost, in a really weird way. So yeah, the future of Liver King, very unclear. The man has legitimately fallen from grace in a way that has never happened before online. He's lost it all, genuinely. Online, I mean, the nonsensical stuff like social media, he's lost his followers. He's still very rich, has a family, a bunch of nice stuff, etc. So he's still got a lot, but you know, he's lost it all. And by that I mean his viewership on TikTok. So like, he hasn't lost that much, but he's crazy now. So yeah, I want to know what you guys think down below. He seems like he's completely fucking obsessed with the limelight. He's definitely a liar. He's definitely an egomaniacal guy, super mega ultra narcissist. It's weird. I don't know if I'm like happy to see this. I don't want to see anybody's downfall. Plus he's got kids and a wife and stuff. I'm not happy. I'm not happy, to be clear. But it is very interesting and a real thing that is like worrying to me. I mean, I saw this and was just kind of taken aback by the video. It's such a odd thing to see. Could be a bit. Once again, I'm thinking it's a bit. I'm betting on it being a bit, but if not, may God have mercy on his soul and the souls of those around him. He is in great danger, and they are as well. Oh, also, forgot to mention he has a Netflix series or show or something coming up, so we'll stay tuned for that. That's already been filmed, obviously. I don't know. The dude has totally changed, though. For better or for worse, not exactly sure. Let me know what you guys think down below. Maybe things will get better and he'll have a total weird ketamine turnaround, free of ketamine turnaround. Why would he even mention that? It's so strange. Anyways, thanks for watching, my friends. Go to the Gump Club to watch uncensored videos. Go to sour.gg to buy some candy. Use code PRIMAL today. All right, 20% off 200 orders. All right, bitch. Probably the least primal product you can eat. Sugar and sour stuff. It's just candy. I make candy. Anyways, thanks for watching.